Yo guys, what's going on? It's Dcroft here, and today we are going to be going over my top 5 Road to College Football playoff teams. Now at number 5, we are going to have a Tier 3 team first, and it is going to be Liberty. The reason being because of this quarterback right here. He has the Platinum Extender, which is a great ability, and the one big thing about the Road to College Football playoff is you cannot change your playbook. And one thing I wanted to mention is I don't want to just give you guys the 5 best teams. I want to give you guys a good team at every single tier, and then I also want to give you guys a very good playbook to go along with that. And the reason why I like Liberty so much is because of this split formation right here. They've got a lot of just great split slot formations. They've got split twins, and then they also have, they should have one more right here. They just have split right here. And I really like a lot of these formations in terms of one, just they have really good blocking because you have 2 running backs in the backfield. And then as you guys can see, you guys have this play right here called Shakes, which is a great play. Texas is another really good play because you have that solo side post. And then you can also then go to other formations in here as well. Switch is another great play. There's just so many plays in here that I could go on forever about how good this team is, on top of then having a really good roster for Tier 3. Texas Tech was the other team I was kind of thinking about putting here, but I just didn't love their playbook as much, and their team didn't outweigh how good this playbook was, in my opinion. I'll show you guys a way that I really like to run Texas personally. I'll just give you guys one play. And really, you're actually going to run this play pretty similarly to this. The only thing that I'm going to actually have different on this play is I'm just going to put a table route on my running back right here. I really like this because it gives us 2 very quick reads out of the backfield. I like this curl against man coverage, and then our very late read is going to be this post deep down the middle of the field, and there's really good spacing with the running back right here. Show you guys right here what the play looks like. We do get an inaccurate right there. Under pressures are kind of crazy in this game, but that is why I really like this team, is because of this formation. And then on top of that, they have really good runs too. Because you have 2 running backs in the backfield, very easy just to run the ball either way. Very easy to be able to manage and control the clock. And in my opinion, this is the 5th best team and the best team at Tier 3 for the Road to College Football playoff mode. Real quick, boys, if you guys are a Madden player that wants to have more fun on the game and win more, if you guys want to score touchdowns like this and bag even the most annoying of offenses, make sure to check out civil.gg. We have over 1,000 active members, and you guys can use the exact schemes I use to dominate in Madden. We recently did a survey that said 99.2% of our members improved their Madden skills. If you guys sign up today, make sure to use code DCROFT for 30% off. The link is in the top of the description, and you will get instant access to win you more Madden games. Alright, so for the 4th best team in the Road to College Football playoff, and for the best Tier 2 team, it is going to be Oklahoma State, in my opinion. Now, Oklahoma State is the best offense in this game. I have an ebook out on it right now on civil.gg, and this is by far the best Tier 2 team, and it has a lot to do with Ollie Gordon right here on top of the playbook you get to use. Now, if you guys watch the ability video that I came out with, you guys will see how crazy just Ollie Gordon is as a whole. This sidestep ability allows you to have some just crazy juke moves like this. You can essentially just teleport your way, I feel like, to the end zone. And then on top of that, they have the formation I like the most in the game, which is going to be this bunch strong. You guys see right here too, Ollie Gordon. It's just so easy to run with him. This is, in my opinion, also just a very good running playbook. You don't have to be in bunch to be able to run the ball with Ollie Gordon. You really just have to be able to hit one juke. And even right there, I thought I was about to be blown up. I gained 9 yards right there. But then on top of that, I just really like this formation in terms of being able to pass out of it. It has so many great plays, has so many one-play touchdowns, it has so many easy ways to score. It's a very high-powered, explosive offense, and then when you pair that with Ollie Gordon too, it allows for such just a balanced overall scheme as a whole. I'm just honestly going to keep running ball with Ollie Gordon just because it's so much fun to be able to do it. One thing to just note that's kind of cool, it's very easy to bounce these runs back too for anybody who's watching, and you guys can see why this team is my number 4 team and the number 1 team on my Tier 2 list. Ollie Gordon is a menace in the game, top 3 Rex player in this game. The only players that are better is going to be a team higher up on this list, and then his name's Judkins. I forget his name. It's something Judkins. The guy is insane. If you guys watch the ability tier list, as you guys see, look at Ollie Gordon, man. Are we gonna be able to get the edge? He's gonna break 3 tackles right there in a run that he shouldn't have got any yards on. He's still able to get 5 yards right there. Right there, just have any type of run vision, 1 juke, and we are out of there. So this is going to be my number 4 team. And with that being said, the rest of the teams are going to be Tier 1 teams. So they are going to be, if you really want to sweat and you really want to grind and if you really want to try to get top of these leaderboards, these would be the 3 teams that I would recommend that you guys use. Alright, so for my number 3 team and my first tier 1 team, it is going to be Alabama. Now there's obviously a ton of reasons why Alabama could be used outside of just this one player, but Jalen Milroe is the second best player in this entire game on regs, and I think he's just so good to be able to use. And on top of this too, Alabama actually has a lot of very good passing plays. If you guys like trips tight end, Alabama is your team. Alabama has a great trips tight end. They've got actually some like really cool plays here too. I'm actually going to show you guys because this is one of the plays. This is just a cool play to be able to run. Play that we've never seen before. It's basically an RPO, and I have the ability to throw it either way. I have the ability to throw the screen to the outside, or I can throw this orbit bubble up around. And then I also have the ability just to hand the ball off too. Let's just say I don't want to throw anybody. I can hand the ball off and still get a couple of yards just like that. But they have so many other cool formations in here too. A great one that I do also like is going to be the swing trips weak. They have a ton of really good motion swings like this. It's just a very good spread out formation. If you're a guy that doesn't really like compression, if you guys don't really like bunch, this would be my number 1 team for you guys to try out and use. Then on top of that too, they just have a very good trips tight end too. They have verticals right here. They have a new play called tight end swirl that we've never seen before. PA shot wheel is a great play, and another really cool play that you guys can end up using is this quarterback zone. Quarterbacks really don't fumble a lot in this game, and Jalen Milroe has the insane spin. As you guys can see right there, he has the insane quick spin. I wasn't able to get a great angle to show it to you guys right there. We'll try one more time to see if we're able to get it. I actually should be able to get it here. And you guys can see that first defender just left in the dust every single time. But this is also just another great playbook to be super balanced out of. There's so many cool runs that you can call out of the trips formation. As you guys can see, you have the cool pass plays from the orbit bubble too. You have some, where's the other play? There's one other really cool play. Yeah, you have an orbit tight end middle screen, which is again just another very cool play. You have a cross screen off of that. And on top of that, you don't really give up all the cool pass plays that you've had for the entire time. Cross is a great play, verticals is a great play, PA slot corner is a great play, and then you also have another great play in, let me try to find it, PA shot wheel right there. So again, a great formation to be able to use. Bama is obviously an insane team. Jalen Milroe is what puts him over the top in my opinion. But with that being said, let's get into the second best team in the game. Alright, so for my number 2 team in the Road to College Football playoff mode, it is going to be Georgia. Now the thing about Georgia is I think that there isn't a single player that stands out. The entire roster is just so insane to me. The first player being Beck, he's a little bit slow at quarterback for only being 74 speed, but he's got great physical attributes and he can really make any throw that you need him to. The wide receiver core is crazy in my opinion. I just personally like to use the 2 fastest guys. I use the 298 speed receivers. I don't really care about using like the higher overall 91 speed receivers. They're just kind of irrelevant to me. You do also have another 95 speed receiver here too. He just doesn't get any type of ability, so I don't personally use him. But I think what's crazy about this team is the defense. The defense is just crazy fast, and then you've got some great abilities you can use at safety too. But with that being said, let's get into the playbook. Now, one thing about this playbook is you can obviously run bunch from this playbook, which is we went over last time. So if you love bunch, it's really good. But I also really like this formation for the wing trips formation and a lot of the auto motion plays. A lot of these auto motion plays are actually really good in the game, and they are something that in my opinion you can run without giving up specific tells. One of my favorite plays that I actually do like to run is this auto motion wheel route here. It does a great job in terms of splitting cover 2 in my opinion, and then that deep S post is also very good. Right there you guys can see we have the middle wide open, but the thing I really like about this play is the spacing you get between the S route and then you get between this auto motion right here. So you guys can see that their spacing right here is really good between these two. It's going to be very difficult for a defender to guard both of them after this guy cuts, and I really like where this in route gets over the middle of the field. Now for me personally, I would probably just cancel the running back route. I would probably put the tight end on a drag, something like this. This is just a very cool play in terms of being able to run. I will actually probably try it against cover 2 here in a second. And as you guys can see actually right there, it is also a match beater too. So if your opponent is ever in match, this is another just great play to be able to run. I'll try to show you guys it against a couple of other things here too. This formation too, you guys can see, it's always not necessarily a wheel too. You have this route being able to cut back across the middle of the field. That's why it's so good in my opinion. It's when you use those auto motion plays, more often than not previously in any type of football video game, they would only ever do one thing. They weren't going to be like other things you could build off of that. As you guys can see, there's other things you can build off of this auto motion, which is what makes it so good in my opinion. The other thing that's also really good about this too is you have a great red zone. Deuce close is very good. You have a great nice little Y trips right here. If you're more of an under center passer too, this is probably going to be the team you're going to want to steer to. They just have a lot more under center type of plays than any of the other playbooks I have shown. So this would be the playbook that I would recommend for you. I'll quickly show you guys the gun bunch here too. It is one of the few playbooks with gun bunch. I'm actually not the biggest fan of this formation this year in the game. There's a reason why I don't personally run it, and I run the gun bunch strong. But it's still a good formation if any of you guys have ran gun bunch previously within the game. But with that being said, let's get into my number one overall team to use for the Road to College Football playoff mode. So for my number one team for the Road to College Football playoff mode, it is going to be Oregon. A big reason has to do with their offensive formation too. I really like the gun bunch strong in this game, but they just have such a good overall roster too. Again, it's kind of similar to Georgia, but there's nothing that truly stands out about this roster. It's just a very overall fast team. They've got two great receivers here. They've got one with Cutter, which is an ability I really like. Takeoff, again, another great ability. The thing that's really insane about this team, in my opinion, is you do have this 94 speed linebacker, which is just great to be able to have. And then they also do have the only 99 speed cornerback in this entire game in Roderick Pleasant. Now, this team is so fast because then you also have a 97 speed DB here. They're just such a fast team where they're almost undeniably the best team in this mode once you pair them with their playbook. And the playbook that I do really like to run out of this too, it is going to be the, there we go, bunch strong offset. It's very similar to Oklahoma State's playbook. The only difference is that this formation has like a little bit better runs, while Oklahoma State has a little bit worse runs, but Oklahoma State has a lot better pass plays in my personal opinion. But Oregon just has a better overall roster than Oklahoma State does. This would be the formation that I would stick with, and if you guys want a really cool route concept that I would run with this team, it is actually going to be Flood right here. And one of the route concepts that has been super meta in Madden for very long is called double corners. But this year you can stem your corners. So essentially what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to stem one of my corners here. So I'm going to put a corner route on my slot receiver. But as you guys can see, those two corners are running into the same area of the field, and we don't really want that when running double corners. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on that receiver again, and you guys can see I have the option now to custom stem. So I'm going to hold down left bumper or LB right here, and I'm going to move this route down with my left analog stick all the way here to be able to have him to run to a different area of the field. Now one thing to mention too is if I was to use my left analog stick and bump him up, I could have this corner route run all the way down the field like this too. Two very different ways to be able to run this play. You honestly, if you really wanted to, you could do this. You're not really ever going to have time to be able to throw it. That's why everybody bumps it all the way down. But it's such a great route concept in my opinion because you have great spacing between those two corner routes. Now right there we did get super shedded, so let me try to see if I can get a better clip for you guys right here. Snap the ball right here. And as you guys can see, great spacing in between these two routes. We're able to have our underneath corner right there. Very simple, easy throw. One of the other things too is that this has very good runs. Some of the really good runs out of this are going to be the RPO read bubble, and then it's also actually going to be this pin and pull toss. Right here we'll actually just run the bubble first. The thing that's so frustrating, I guess, in terms of defending this bubble is unless you have a hard flat, it's very easy to throw. As you guys can see, it's very easy just to be able to get out on the edge with this type of bubble. If they do have a hard flat out there, it does guard it, but again, very difficult to guard. Right there, they do have man on it. Man is the other thing that actually does guard this reasonably well. The thing is if there are man covers, there's a lot of other things that are going to be open. And with the way juking is in this game, this is almost like a free 5 yards, free 10 yards if they don't have a zone out there. As you guys can see, it's just very easy to be able to run the ball with this. Now the next run that is also very good that I was just talking about, it is this pin and pull toss. This is more if they're misaligned in my opinion. If they have numbers over there, it's not as good. But if they are misaligned, this toss actually gets out really well. Right there, the defense, I actually say the defense had pretty good alignment on that play. Let me see, okay, yeah, so right here the defense is misaligned. So this should be I would say like a free 5 to 10 yards right here. Let's see what ends up actually happening though, and of course, we get blown up. This is more of a hit or miss run, I will say, as you guys can probably see from the first couple of plays, that this is really only a run that you want to call, I'd say on like a first and 10 and see if it pops off. This isn't a run that I would spam by any means. Right here, oh, my guy just misses his block. I finally thought we were going to be able to have a huge gain. But I think this is a pretty fair, accurate representation of this run. It's either going to gain you like 30 yards or it could be blown up for a loss. Just kind of depends on the look the defense is giving you. Right here, again, one of those plays that isn't as good. Actually, after running this a couple more times, I would probably just more or less stick with the RPO read bubble. This run is probably going to be a lot safer bet in terms of the success you're going to have within the game. But within other formations that you can run from Oregon too, outside of just bunch, I do really like this trio too. Again, we've got some more of those auto motion plays here. And you have a lot of good pass plays, deep flood, a very good play. Curl flat, another very good play. PA crossers has been a staple of Madden for as long as I have ever played, and even before I started playing. Outside of that, there isn't a ton of really glitchy formations. You do have a wing trips right here. It's just not as good. They're not going to have as many as the gimmick plays from it. So I would try to stick in the gun trio or the gun bunch strong offset. With that being said, those are my top 5 overall teams for the Road to College Football Playoff Mode. I hope this video was helpful for you guys, and I will see you guys all next time.